talking about the best-selling book that Shannon has written, Every Young Woman's Battle. And in this book, you talk about the fact that you as a woman, and the women that are listening, you're susceptible to a lot of the things that the world is offering just because of the way that you're made. Talk about some of those things you're susceptible to.
Well, because women naturally crave intimacy, which I love to define by breaking it down into syllables, into me see. We long for that connection, to see into the heart of another person, have them see into our heart, and like what they see, and appreciate us and value us for who we are. That makes us very, very vulnerable to things that we may not even recognize as being sexual compromise. You know, women often think, well, unless I'm sleeping with a guy, I'm not acting with sexual compromise. I mean, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But yet we're reading romance novels and we're comparing our boyfriends or our husbands to the hero in the story and thinking of all the ways he doesn't measure up or treat us like that. We're watching soap operas. We're going into internet chat rooms to try to see if somebody can stroke our ego that day. Those sorts of things, we don't recognize what a huge stumbling block that is into the pit of sexual compromise. That those are the little foxes that destroy the vineyard. And so women have to, kind of like what Steve was saying earlier, that you have to set boundaries up in front of yourself before you get to that point where, okay, now I'm involved in this sexual relationship and don't know how to get myself out, so that you can be aware step by step. And one of the big wake-up calls that I had is that when I was putting my babies down for a nap every day, I would run straight to the television for 1 hour of All My Children, and another of One Life to Live, and another of General Hospital. I was reading the romance novels. I'm very thankful that the internet wasn't out back in those days, or else I'm sure I would have been, looking for love online as well. But having to wake up to the fact that I am that I'm a sex and love addict, that maybe I'm recovering from the sexual addiction part because I was physically being faithful to my husband, but emotionally I was still looking in all these other places. The guys from church would call me up in the middle of the day while my husband's at work, and I would meet up with my aerobics instructor for lunch, and things that were very inappropriate that I didn't recognize it at the time. And understanding that there's such a thing as love addiction was a big eye-opener for me. Went through 6 months of intensive counseling to understand that concept.